Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. It is Thursday, and today we are unstoppable with a whole lot of energy, good vibes, and inspiration.
And I'm Monique Tuzon, ready to bring more fun to your mornings. Join us in the next hour for stories and conversations that matter. So today, Paolo is very, very happy.
Yes.
Because why?
Kaya I just want to repeat my greeting. Good morning, especially to all of the Lasalians out there today for that incredible win against UP, extending the series. Of course, we have a news item on that later. Pero I just want to say, Kevin Kiambao, maraming salamat, pare. As the Lasal Green Archers extend the series.
Parang medyo think, kasi off the air, iba yung sinasabi mo.
Yeah, kasi
Now
baka
it was really
tayo eh. Baka mapain tayo.
Or nag-tone down siya bigla.
I wish you all saw and heard what Paolo was saying this morning.
Kasi grabe, as I was at the PBA yesterday, and then right after the PBA, I know my dad had the game as well. Barangay Ginebra was playing, and I was watching the Ginebra game, and on my phone had the Lasal game, so I was screaming at two different things. But yeah, it was really fun. Just great sporting events happening recently. PBL is in full swing, PBA is in full swing, the UAP is in full swing. The Philippine football national team is playing tonight as well. So much happening, and my adrenaline is going nuts.
Clearly.
It's crazy.
Wow. And there are a lot of things happening on the show also this morning.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Christmas food. Like yesterday, we were talking about traditions. Now, yung mga food.
Yeah, and you know, we're gonna debut our fourth host.
Yes, who's always here.
He's
guys.
always
Who's
here.
always here. Not just our
Who
show,
never
but
says no.
always here in BNC.
Pero joke lang yan
I-hire na siya.
Oo, pero to our bosses, joke lang yan kasi we don't have enough money to pay that person like we do Mo kasi. Kaya medyo mahirap yun eh.
And aside from that, we're also going to be talking about hair trends that are up and coming.
That's why your
this
hair is
year.
up and different today.
Yeah, and
Yes.
speaking of hairy situations, let's talk about the traffic kasi minsan hairy situation talaga yun.
I know. So let's check the
Okay ba yung
situation.
segue ko?
That was a great segue.
Yes, pwede na.
10 out of 10.
Let's check the situation in some major roads in Metro Manila at this hour. Of course, we will be starting with the eastbound portion of Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City. As you can see on the left side of your screens, the vehicles going to Sandigan Bayan. Very light traffic on that stretch of Commonwealth. Also for the innermost lane, for the counterflow for vehicles heading towards UP Diliman or the Quezon City Circle. Now, let's check out the other side, right side of your screens are vehicles going to the Quezon Memorial Circle. You will be slowing things down, moderate to heavy traffic already on that stretch. Now, here's a live traffic situation along EDSA White Plains this time. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. On the right side are vehicles headed to Cubao. Light to moderate traffic still at this time. Drive safe, everyone. And like I always say, keep a cool head and leave your homes early to avoid unnecessary delay. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Thursday today, so vehicles with license plates ending in 7 and 8 should be off the road right now till 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Let's take a look at our latest weather report. Some parts of the country will experience rainy weather for today. As you can see, Pagasa's projections do not indicate a potential storm, but the Weather Bureau has raised a moderate to heavy rainfall alert in Quezon, Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, and Davao Oriental. This is because of the shear line and the intertropical convergence zone as the current active weather systems. People in these places are warned against possible flooding and landslides, especially in highly susceptible areas. We also have the northeast monsoon or hanging amihan, bringing cloudy skies and rains to places like the Cagayan Valley, along with the Cordillera and Ilocos regions. Metro Manila and the rest of the country may experience isolated rain showers for today due to localized thunderstorms. Now tune in to us later on for Weather HQ later at 9 a.m. for updates whatever the weather. Only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
In the meantime, a remarkable feat for our kababayans abroad as President Bongbong Marcos recognizes 13 outstanding overseas Filipino workers and groups. This includes the Philippine Nurses Association of New York and the Neurosurgery Outreach Foundation. The 2024 Presidential Awards for Filipino individuals and organizations overseas showcases awardees' contribution to the development of the Philippines and the interest of Filipinos.
Whenever I meet world leaders, they always speak highly of Filipinos. And we are truly proud to be Filipino and to be recognized for our contributions not only to our own country, but to humanity. I'm always delighted to hear inspiring stories from our kababayans and foreigners alike who are bridging cultures and fostering valuable relationships that benefit not just Filipinos, but also the members of their host countries. Today, we recognize the 13 honorees of the 2024 Presidential Awards for Filipino individuals and organizations overseas. Our awardees represent the very best of our people and bring immense pride to our country. Your accomplishments span various fields, and the noble works that you have done have enhanced the quality of life in your respective communities, both here and abroad. So on behalf of the entire nation, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of the 2024 awardees.
A resolution urging President Marcos to grant Mary Jane Veloso clemency has been filed Wednesday in the belief that she has been a victim of illegal recruitment. Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Brosa said this issue is not just about Mary Jane, but all other Filipinos in the same situation. Veloso's family was also present in filing the resolution. They are set to fly to Indonesia this weekend to visit her.
Akala po namin, ala na kaming pag-asa. Ipagpasa Diyos na po namin si Mary Jane. Nagulat po kami noong November 19. Nasabihin nila sa akin na mamigrante na, "Oy, nanay, congrat." Oh, kakog mo akong binibiro. Yun ang sabi ko. Tapos, "Congrat nga, nanay. Ang pinakamasaya kako sa akin, kako pag binati mo ko, yung makakauwi ni anak ko, uuwi na nga."
Speaking on BNC's agenda, Veloso's lawyer, attorney Edre Olalia, said they are expecting for her to either be granted absolute pardon or be transferred to a Philippine prison until she's possibly given clemency.
The Bicameral Conference Committee has approved the final version of the 2025 General Appropriations Bill on the national budget. But the controversial budget for the Office of the Vice President remains the same after a massive cut at the House of Representatives. Agatha Gregorio has the details.
Senators and congressmen approved the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the 2025 national budget at over 6.3 trillion pesos. But not all lawmakers affixed their signatures.
Pending further study by my budget team and also my consultation with my minority leader about what his vote will be in the ratification process this afternoon. For the record, hindi ko muna po pipirmahan yung budget by CAM report. But as soon as I know what my or our votes will be, I will inform the good Finance Committee Chair and Senate President with all.
Hindi ko pa nakita, titingnan ko pa lahat. Hintayin ko yung buong kopya.
Senator Bato de la Rosa also stayed out of the group photo at the second BICAM Conference Committee meeting on Wednesday. De la Rosa is among senators who called for an increase in the budget of the Office of the Vice President after it was slashed at the House of Representatives from over 2 billion pesos.
Senate Finance Committee Chairperson Grace Poe says the 733 million peso budget of the OVP stays, as this is the decision of the majority. Poe adds the office can still help the public as it has 600 million pesos in its funding for social services.
Some funding was also restored for the Ayuda sa Kapos ang Kita program, or AKAP. In the Senate version of the budget, funding for this was reallocated to other programs. This was due to AKAP's supposed similarity to another Social Welfare and Development Department program, Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation, or AICS.
Nagkaroon ng pag-uusap tungkol dyan. Alam naman natin na yung AKAP ay inisyatibo ng House of Representatives. So, pagdating sa mga ganon, inexplika nila kung bakit ito ay isang paraan na mas makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan. Ito naman ay ating pinakinggan at pinagbigyan rin. Ito ay para pangtulong dun sa mga nangangailangan na minimum wage earners na apektado ng mga sitwasyon o kaya ng inflation ngayon.
Poe adds they simply reduced the budget to 26 billion from the initially proposed 39 billion pesos at the lower chamber. But unlike AKAP, the budget for PhilHealth subsidy suffered far more than a cut.
Sa ngayon, ang PhilHealth ay hindi nabigyan ng budget sapagkat kailangan nilang gamitin muna yung kanilang reserve funds na kung nakikita ninyo, marami nang nagagalit dahil hindi nabibigyan ng tamang reimbursement, hindi mabilis ang pagka-reimburse. Kung nakikita naman natin na ganong karami yung pera nila, kailangan gamitin nila yon dahil nasasayang lang.
The senator says PhilHealth still has 600 billion pesos in reserved funds. Senator J.V. Ejercito believes this can still be used for PhilHealth operations, but he does have concerns over the legality of the decision.
Both universal healthcare and sin taxes law, talaga naka-earmark yun for PhilHealth's use para nga sa indirect contributories dun sa mga PWD, senior citizen, yung subsidy natin sa yung mga hindi kaya magbayad.
Senator Poe expects the president will sign the 2025 budget by December 19. Agatha Gregorio, BNC.
Vice President Sara Duterte says she's ready to face the impeachment complaints filed against her. The Vice President is facing 2 complaints at the lower house. VP Sara says it's possible she may get ousted if the case is pushed through. The Vice President reiterates that she will not go to the National Bureau of Investigation to speak on her threats against the first couple and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. She also calls the investigation unfair.
Tignan natin, no, the pronouncements of the President, meron ng bias doon. So kahit pa man pumunta ako doon, hindi ako pumunta doon, we believe, and I believe, that we, meaning the lawyers and I, believe that cases will be filed. So kahit pang sabihin nila na merong investigasyon, sa simula pa lang, nagdesisyon na sila na mag-file sila ng cases. Hindi yung alam nila, ma'am, na pag namatay ako, hindi talaga ako, I will not die in vain.
Vice President Duterte was a no-show again at the NBI on Wednesday, instead choosing to air her side via mail.
State volcanologists are raising the alarm if the situation at Mount Canlaon turns for the worse. PHIVOLCS Director Teresito Bacolcol says a hazardous eruption is possible in the coming weeks. He adds they are closely monitoring the volcano to see and determine its next course of action. As of Wednesday, PHIVOLCS has recorded 2 ash emissions and 31 volcanic earthquakes. The Office of Civil Defense also says the air quality in affected areas is good, despite the ashfall recorded.
Hazardous eruption is possible in the next few weeks. But of course, we will have to evaluate this one. Titingnan natin kung mag-escalate ba further, and kung hindi naman, we will meeting kami with our staff sa PHIVOLCS, and then we may lower down the alert level.
The Office of Civil Defense says almost 50% of the residents from the 6-kilometer danger zone have been evacuated, while others refuse to leave. Authorities also assure of adequate food and medical supplies for those in evacuation centers.
Moving on to sports. It ain't over till it's over for the De La Salle Green Archers in the UAP Season 87 Men's Basketball Finals. The defending champs bounced back in an epic game on Wednesday against the UP Fighting Maroons at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. Now, the Green Archers extended the series by cramming their way to a nail-biting finish 76-75. King Archer, the king of the fourth, Kevin Kiambao, took over in the end game. The newly crowned back-to-back season MVP fired a pair of clutch triples for the La Salle Green Archers, finishing with 22 points and 9 rebounds. The winner-take-all Game 3 between La Salle and UP is on Sunday, December 15, at the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
We already saw your reaction. reaction this morning. Yes.
I'm
The unfiltered one.
Yes.
Alam mo,
unfiltered reaction.
There is one thing though that both Lasalians and mga scholar ng bayan can relate to after that game too. They are all now terrified of free throws, which is both teams missed 10 consecutive free throws, or maybe not consecutive, but 10 free throws in the fourth quarter.
Oh, wow.
The game was won by 1 point. Could you imagine if they actually made their free throws?
That's crazy.
For either team. A lot of UP fans are getting upset at Francis Lopez. But I would also argue if LaSalle lost that game, there's a lot of blame that's going to be thrown at the missed free throws of LaSalle as well.
Now we need to call the king of free throws himself, my guy, Steph
Yeah,
Curry.
Well, you know what?
We gotta call Steph Curry to help them.
Masyadong foreign yun. Sa mga nakakaalala, kindly check out the Chardnos free throws pages. Because for those, I don't know if you remember, but then you should be able to Google Chardnos free throws and see what happens there. A bit of plus that I'm going to tell you all about
That's your,
off the
is that
air.
your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, I will be watching your dad later. Okay, noted. Well, now in entertainment news, Filipino singer Sofronio Vasquez wins The Voice USA. He is the first ever Filipino and the first Asian to win the singing competition in America. Vasquez performed A Million Dreams from the movie The Greatest Showman. The Team Michael Bublé singer bested 4 remaining finalists at the 2-night finale on Tuesday and Wednesday. Vasquez is an alum of local singing competition Tawag ng Tanghalan. I hope I said that correctly.
Wow, goosebumps.
I wish I had his voice.
wow.
You know, if you had this voice, you wouldn't be on this show.
I was just about to
Exactly.
say that. I still won't be on this show.
No, we'd
you
be doing
would not.
something
I'd be
else.
singing every morning here. If I had a
You'd be-
voice like that.
you would not.
If you had that voice, you'd be singing all over the world.
You'd
you
be
won't
on The
just be
Voice.
stuck in what, yeah.
It's okay, I'm happy here sa BNC.
Wow. But
I
we still
love
want
it
to
But
here.
really,
hear
the
it.
talent of Filipinos, especially when it comes to singing, we're just
Worldwide.
amazing.
Yeah, you know, it's just so
Yeah.
funny that he's the first Filipino American to
I
win.
know.
So you know, you would
So proud.
You would hope and assume that we'd have more of our kababayans out there soon. Kasi grabe, his talent is on another level. And the connection he had with Michael Bublé was incredible because Michael Bublé does have a strong connection to the Philippines. Sumikat siya dito sa Pilipinas, baka siya sumikat sa
Oo
United
naman,
States.
yes.
Michael Bublé
Right?
is my favorite, especially during Christmas.
Well, of course,
He's a
yeah.
very underrated Christmas singer.
He's the American
Jose Marichan.
Jose Marichan.
Actually. No, and you know what's so amazing? That we're getting more recognized globally, and like Filipino singing is, I think, I don't know if it's more distinct, but people know that Filipinos sing really well.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
yes.
Yeah.
Paolo and I did not get those genes. I think
You
Anne
see-
got that.
You see all those reels where people sing in just, the local video case, like in
Hindi ka sa
events.
video sa
And then-
mga mall.
At the malls.
Oo,
yeah, they're
And
amazing.
also yung mga Christmas party lang where you don't really have to be like 100%
Yeah.
all out, right?
There's a Christmas party game that I've seen that they line up
Yeah,
to
they
sing
line
different
up and then
parts, and they're
sing.
all normally amazing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you see these reels, and people are really aware that Filipinos are so good in singing.
Yeah, pagdating sa power ballad, 80s light rock.
Ay, nako, yes!
Ganon, laban yun. Or kahit yung mga
Yeah.
90s OPM
Yeah,
especially. So
yes.
a lot with that for sure.
Yung tipong memorize na nila yung code sa video game machine.
Actually.
They already know what to press.
And
Yeah.
like how to change the key and everything
Yeah,
to theirs.
yeah.
Well, let's see. I don't know about changing the key all the time, but yes, absolutely right.
Okay, we got a lot more for you guys on the show. Sure, you got your wish list done and your holiday shopping too, but don't forget about your health checklist just because it's the jolliest season of the year. When we return, Health Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo joins us live to remind you not to be naughty and be nice this Christmas. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
The latest news national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront.
It's still continuing with hearings on the EJ.
But we can recommend the filing of cases with the proper offices or agencies.
It is always victimizing the poor, so we will continue to go against corruption in the budget.
At the forefront with attorney Karen Jimeno, 8 a.m.
Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, what does the investigation cover? We tackle the issues.
The president's immunity from suit is absolute.
We clarify matters and we get on point.
Watch his press con. Sinabi niya na ayaw niya ng kudita.
What is questionable about the AR, sir? The Vice President keeps insisting walang active threat kung hindi ako mamamatay.
Tignan na lang natin, mahirap pang pangunahan eh.
Pinky Webb, on point.
Magandang araw, Pilipinas! Sa bawat issue, may iba't ibang anggulo. Sa bawat storya, may iba't ibang kwento.
Himayin natin ang bawat sulok at bawat kanto mula sa iba't ibang perspektibo na madaling maintindihan ng karaniwang mamamayan.
Every Saturday na mga magdanda to 11:30 a.m. Kaya huwag kayong papahuli, mga kababayan. Manatiling may pakialam sa mga issue sa ating bansa kung kaya samahan niyo kami. Dito lang sa Cuatro Cantos!
In the world of business, expansion is inevitable.
So I was a serial dater.
Not just a serial entrepreneur.
Yes.
You need fresh perspectives.
Different perspectives, different capabilities.
The sense of fulfillment, the sense of accomplishment. It's like you gave birth.
The relationships we have, how we treat our people, for me that is the essence.
I'm Ces Orenia Drilon at ito ang Usapang Bilyonaryo.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, holidays are coming. It's a season to be jolly, hop, and indulge in good times and good food. But we're getting ahead to remind you that you should still try to keep safe and healthy. If you won't take it from us, then take it from the DOH Assistant Secretary himself. It's a beautiful day. Asec Albert Domingo, good morning.
Good morning, Monique, Anne, and Paolo. It is a beautiful day this Thursday, and yes, it's really getting merry out there.
I know, and see, our fourth host.
He sounds like a host.
See? He's in practice. I know.
Should we go to the banter of UP and let's...
Wag na yun. We talk too much about that.
Super perfect talaga yung 4 chairs, no? Right?
Actually,
it works well. So, Doc Albert, let's talk about your Ligtas Christmas campaign.
Yes.
So, DOH has a couple of campaigns this Christmas season. You're focusing on food and health, road safety also, travel, and fireworks-related injuries. You know, I always watch that. Di ba, they always show yung mga fireworks injuries. Yes.
With the hands.
Yes. When I was a kid, I would always watch those reports. But anyway, let's focus first on travel, road safety. Could you tell us more about your Bia Healthy campaign?
Yes, Anne. So in the DOH, we have this campaign called Bia Healthy from the wordplay itself. Biahe, which is your travel or voyage, and healthy. So we should be always healthy when we travel, particularly at this time where a lot of road crashes happen. Did you know that Secretary Arbosa, who is actually a trauma surgeon, he doesn't want to call it an accident. We call it, this is actually for all the writers out there, we always call it a crash. Banggaan. Because it can be avoided. If you say accident, it sounds like you cannot avoid it.
Sounds unavoidable.
But these things can be avoided if you do not drink before you drive, if you stay cool on the road, and if you plan your voyages out there. And this acronym, blow bag set, there's the brakes, lights, oil, etc. It's like going out during March, Holy Week, but this time we should also do it during Christmas to avoid these crashes on the road.
You know, you're focusing a lot on the road safety, but a lot of people might say, oh, di ba dapat MMDA yung gumagawa nito? And
Correct.
Is there any collaboration into why the expanded focus on this in particular?
Correct. Just recently, the UN envoy for road safety, apologies, I forgot his name. He's a French gentleman, the former, I think, head of Ferrari or something like that. And he was here in the Philippines, and he convened, together with the president, our president, this very thing that you said, a multi-sectoral initiative. It's not only a DOH job, because we don't control control the roads. You're right. MMDA, the Land Transportation Office, and the good news is everyone is cooperating with each other because the human life is the end result, or the loss of a human life is the end result of inadequate planning with each other. So we are working on that so that we can lessen these incidents.
Now, Doc, let's move on to the food and health part, because that's what I think I'm most concerned about.
Mo started smiling as soon as she said food.
No, but I feel like this is gonna make me sad. Because, you know, especially during the Christmas season, it's gonna make me sad. You know, like everybody's spread is crazy and everybody's just eating. So how can we avoid sodium, cholesterol, and all the bad stuff this holiday season?
Yeah, I can relate with you, Mo. Food is something that we all relate to as Filipinos. In fact, the difficulty here is it is a cultural thing. As a government official, it is frequent in our day that we get invited to several meetings, and it is actually impolite, I would say. It's not written, it's not spoken, but you can tell the nonverbals. You do have to eat. Because your host will feel offended if you don't get the food, right? So how do you, as you asked, how do you navigate? We have something we call the Pinggang Pinoy, which is your Filipino plate. And the Pinggang Pinoy campaign says, if you have a plate, you conveniently make imaginary lines. You divide it into fourths.
Like portions?
Yes, like portions.
Okay.
One half of the plate should have fruits and vegetables, which is fiber, and then 1/4 for your carbs, for your rice, for your pasta. But that's
the best one.
That's the best one. But you can still have it, but just 1/4 of the plate, and then the other 1/4 for the meats and the fats and the oils. So that will help. Why? Because if you have half of your plate full of fiber, which should be good, so your vegetables and your fruits, then you will feel a bit more full, and your portions will somehow limit. Because ideally, in a single day, you should have no more than 1 teaspoon of salt the whole day, no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar, free sugar, the whole day, and roughly 10% of your energy intake should just be for fat, not more than that. So imagine the lechon. You can't eat a lot of lechon, but you still can. That's what you say, everything in moderation.
That's why my pants were not fitting anymore this morning. I'm going over.
Kasi it's the Christmas season, so it's so hard to, you know, like maintain just one plate full of all the handa.
My question is, how big is the plate?
That's a good question.
And how many plates?
Ginao. 1 cup, pero ganito kalaki yung cup.
How many plates can you have? Di ba?
Depende sa laki ng plato. Sobrang depende sa laki ng plato.
So usually your standard plate, there is a more, meron kasing platito, the small plate, then your standard plate. The big plate, which is not actually a plate, informal dining, it's the charger, I think, the thing that you put underneath. That's not the plate. So the regular plate.
Oh, that's my plate.
If your average intake is if you have a 2,000 calorie diet, which is most people, then I would say 1 to 2 plates. Going beyond 2 plates is already too much.
Okay, so I'm ignoring the plate size conversation kasi baka pwede naman yung malaki talaga, diba?
Pag Christmas season kasi it's really so hard to limit what you eat, right? Kasi you always, in your head, you're always like, Christmas naman eh, right? So I'm gonna tap into your fitness instructor side as well. Where do we get the motivation to stay healthy?
Yeah, the motivation to stay healthy is about delaying the inevitable. I know it's too early, it's a beautiful day, but they say that there are only 2 things that are inevitable in life, death and taxes. But you don't have to die so soon. Right? So that's why you have to eat well, tamang pagkain, you have to exercise, so that you're able to delay that. The better you handle your health, the better you do prevention, the longer your life will be. And the more time you will have with family, with the things that matter, which is really about the experience of life. So that's what we want to happen.
You know, Asec, I want to ask about the urgency of this campaign, because is there actually a surge with regard to, health-related cardiovascular health-related hospitalizations or checkups because of siguro yung overfeasting during the holiday season?
What you're mentioning, Paolo, is what we call binge eating. So remember everything in moderation. What happens if you have a bit too much from more than the 2 plates, 3 plates, etc.? Then that's what you call binge eating. There are effects on, number 1, your gastrointestinal system. That's why you feel bloated, you feel full, because your gastric capacity, your stomach is just simply too full. one. Number two, the amount of sodium that goes into your blood spikes, and also sugar. If you have sodium spikes, then your blood pressure can be affected. If you have sugar spikes, your blood sugar can be affected. And that means there can be more heart attacks, there can be more incidents of hyperglycemia.
Yeah.
These are bad things that can rush you to the emergency room. So we do see a spike in these incidents informally. When I say informally, kasi normally we wait for 1 full year to tally the statistics. But you can see year on year, it's always the stroke, the high blood, the diabetes. They are the top scorers in our causes of death annually. So we really have to keep the campaign year long, but we just take advantage of the season because everyone, as you already mentioned, everyone looks at the table and looks at the food at this time of the year.
Right. And well, speaking of, Doc, since you're our health person, health guru, fitness, and of course an Asec, I'm so curious. What is your spread like during the holiday season? I'm envisioning
Fruits.
super healthy.
Sige nga.
Konting ham lang.
Vegan lechon.
Brown rice, quinoa.
Parang hindi, kasi I see your post, yung mga niluluto mo.
I cannot escape this, yes, because you will see on my social media.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, just like every Filipino family, there are non-negotiables because of tradition.
Right. Yes,
So my late
yes.
father would always cook Chinese ham, prepared the traditional way, like this dry ham. We don't buy it cooked, we cook it ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we buy this particular brand, it's still a raw, you cook it in beer, in brown sugar, pineapple juice, right? And then that's a centerpiece. And then we do have the salads. So even though I say avoid the sweets, like I said, you can still have it, but the portion size.
In moderation.
My mom cooks, everyone has a version of fruit salad. Like my fruit salad is better than your mom's fruit salad. And then there's also macaroni salad and potato salad. So the carbs are there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and saying we don't have carbs, we don't have fat. We do, but it's always in portion. You don't have to finish it all at 12 midnight on the 25th. And oh, by the way, another piece of advice, when you do store food, because you will not finish it all at the same time, always have food safety in mind. Warm food should not be kept out for more than 2 hours. It should be cooled down and put back into the refrigerator until you can consume it. Do not prepare too much food more than the anticipated number of guests. And if you plan to sing along with Ate Shawi, balutin mo ako, it's better to choose the dry foods than the one with the sauce because yung mga masarsa, the tomato sauce, the cream, that's what spoils fast.
Hindi yan nagets ni Mo, sorry.
I got it!
Nagets mo?
Bulletin mo ko sa liwanag ng
Okay.
pamamahal.
No, but Asec,
Surprise.
before, we're talking a lot about the holidays, but then I'm sure you know as a fitness instructor as well, normally people are holding up, sige, January, new year, new me, new fitness, biglang tumataas yung mga gym memberships.
That's actually true.
See, we do see that.
Yeah.
So it's a cycle. Usually, and this is, I'll package it in the form of a tip. So often people will think, it's November, December, I can lay off on the exercise. We do see it in the gym. The number of people attending my fitness class, my bike class, it really dwindles. Before, it's like a full 20-person class, and then it goes down to 15, 10, especially during the interlude between Christmas and New Year. And then when New Year comes in, all of the New Year's resolutions come in, the gym is packed. You know what? It's about consistency more than intensity. Lower intensity, but frequent and regular is better than like going there during January, and then everyone wants to have abs by March or April. But the abs are built as early as November and December, and not in the gym, but in the kitchen. That's what we always say.
Makes me so sad.
I've given up 12 years ago. Kasi kahit nung pito ko, wala akong abs pero ganun talaga.
That's always the tip ng fitness instructors. Abs are not built in the gym, in the kitchen. So it all starts with the food intake.
Also, don't be fixated on the abs. It doesn't mean that you have to have a six-pack. What in medical parlance, look at your waist to hip ratio. Measure your waistline, measure your hip line. The ratio should not be more than 1, particularly for gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken. And then for women, it's a bit lower, around the 0.7 or 0.75.
Okay.
Because if you have a higher ratio, that means your tummy is larger than your hips. That's what is actually, napaganon si Paolo. Get a tape measure, please. No, because having said that, the fat around the tummy, what we call visceral fat, fat,
Visceral
that's
fat.
what's actually worse than the subcutaneous.
Yes, yes.
So, at the gym, people are fixated about the calipers. Like, oh, I have you pinch. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not what's deadly. What's deadly is what's around your tummy.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm not the only one who did that. Yung crew namin, no? Like, they were
Everybody,
all...
I know.
Nagkurutan bigla.
You know what, Doc, let's not talk about
ako lang, ha?
let's not talk about waistlines anymore. Let's move on, shall we?
All right, all right.
New Year naman, fireworks-related
Ayan na.
injuries. You have a campaign for this as well. Through the years, Doc, what is the trend like in terms of fireworks-related injuries?
So there was an interlude around the pandemic time where the number of fireworks injuries went down.
Yeah.
And everyone was so happy. But of course, there's a kapalit. Now, if you don't have people going out, naturally you will not have injuries because everyone was locked in their houses. So we saw the trend when the pandemic was lifted around 2022, 2023, and then the fireworks injuries came back. So it's our time to remind everyone, community fireworks, meaning let the professionals handle the lighting.
Yeah.
We're not against fireworks. Sure, go ahead, but organize it. Sabi nga namin, it's election year. It's the best time na magpakilala. So, Kapitan, Mayor, please organize local community fireworks, and that will actually help the DOH lessen the number of injuries.
And you mentioned the pandemic. Obviously, everyone was locked in.
Yes.
Right before that, there was actually the legislation talking about the ban of fireworks as well. Has the numbers since the pandemic increased to pre-pandemic levels already?
Last January, so the early part of this year, it was already approaching. We would not be surprised if it would hit the same pre-pandemic numbers this year. But we're still hoping that everyone decides it's better to leave it to the professionals. Don't light stuff at home. You know what? The number one or number two cause firework that caused the injuries. It's not actually an illegal firework. It's a common one, queeties.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right. But everyone gets queeties because sometimes if you don't know how to target it or if it's a dud, it flies into your house, it flies into the neighbor's backyard, it hits someone. So it's better to just leave it to the professionals and watch from afar and hug the one you love.
There you go.
That's a nice extra, huh?
Yeah, lose weight, not fingers.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. That's, check na lang, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Asec Albert Domingo. So we'll see you again tomorrow, yes?
See you again tomorrow, and it's a beautiful day.
Ready. Thank you, Doc. Well, when we return, we'll explore the hottest hairstyle trends for 2025. From bold new colors to sustainable styling tips, we take a look how the ever-evolving hairstyle looks as we prepare to ring in the new year. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
All I wanted to do was make it fun and easy to stay updated with startup news in Southeast Asia. I was the kind of mindset that was like, okay, I'm going to try this. If it works out, then great. It could be something big, but I'll never know. I'll just try my best. And then 3 years later, I have something bigger than I ever imagined. This year, we went beyond startup news in Southeast Asia, and we started publishing business stories as well. So not just tech, not just startups. We started covering stories of companies like Charles & Keith, Potato Corner, The Paper Bunny. How did they start? What are the challenges that they've been through? How did they overcome it? What can we learn from them, and where are they today? And I think it's because a lot of founders and a lot of business people look to these stories to learn something new, but also keep going. I think it's been a really difficult few years for the startup ecosystem because of the fundraising drop. And I think these can help motivate people while also help teach them something that can bring their business forward.
Beauty, health, adventure. This is for you. Join Marie Lozano where she uncovers the untold stories and unexpected surprises in the world of lifestyle.
We wanted to create a space where we could dive into these topics not just by talking to experts, but experiencing the topics firsthand.
Let me tell you about the Lifestyle Lab.
On BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, as we move from 2024 into 2025, hairstyles are a blend of nostalgia and innovation. This past year, 90s-inspired looks like bouncy blowouts and choppy bobs made a comeback, while bold colors, pastel pinks, and electric blues took center stage. The shag haircut also reigned with its layered, carefree vibe. But it's not only about looking good, it's also about being sustainable and eco-friendly. Now, to help us walk through the hairstyle trends for this year and beyond, veteran hairstylist Benjamin Hilado now joins us via Zoom Live. Good morning, Sir Benj. It's a beautiful day.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day. Thank you.
Of course, thanks for waking up. Now, before we talk about trends for 2025, let's talk about this past year, 2024. So what were some of the most popular hairstyle trends that you saw this past year, and how do you think they'll evolve heading into 2025?
Well, it's getting more exciting. As a hairdresser, I'm very excited with what's happening with hair because there's been, people are more open to layering their hair as opposed to like previous years when everybody was going for simplistic, minimalist, blonde cut. Now people are open to having movements and more layers in their hair. So it's exciting. So I mean, as this year is I saw that people embracing this face framing layers, which is good. And if you don't have a curtain bangs for the year, you don't belong to 2024. So it was exciting. And for guys, like, who would have thought like the mullet will come back, but modernized. So that was really exciting to unfold this 2024.
You mentioned
embracing the modern mullet.
Benj, you mentioned the curtain bangs. Meron ako niyan. Not today.
Not today,
but kasi Benj has been cutting my hair for more than a decade already. And talagang kung ano yung trends for the year, that's what he styles my hair with. So this year, 2024, we're seeing bold hair colors like pastels, right? It made a big impact. Do you think that this trend will continue into the new year, or are we going to see a shift?
Yes, some people like nowadays people are more individualist. So, and there's more tolerance in hair color. Like people accept somebody walking in blue hair or in pink hair. That will still go on. But in the mid part of this year, people are going back to basic, like going more natural. It's not. It hasn't picked up yet, but people, mostly in the salon, people are going darker in their tones, like embracing a good brown, a good mocha brown, and mixing it with a bit of a spice of a caramel highlight, something more natural, as opposed to those what you mentioned, having bold colors like pink, blue, or purple, like that. And this will pick up in the early part of 2025. Since the color of the year, if I'm not mistaken, next year will be mocha mousse.
Yes.
So I think there will be a lot of people going dark, like a good brunette, a good, like I said, a good mocha brown on their hair, just not to go to having jet black. No, there's still color in their hair, but more simplistic and more minimalist.
Benj, just to go back on the guys you mentioned a while ago, the medyo bumabalik yung mullet. It feels like we are cycling back through history with regard to the hairstyles. What do you think is start of making a bit of a comeback here that we are seeing going into 2025? And what era of hairstyles are we seeing here?
It's a good thing you brought about the topic of mullet, because I remember it was forecasted in the school I went to, where we update, we learn on the next trends. So it was introduced like in 2017, like this modern mullet. So we were like hesitant if it's going to come back. But now, because of TikTok, I mean, I was surprised and also happy that it's actually happening, and it comes in different forms. Like a mullet could be like a shave on the side, or it can be like Paul Mescal with a bit of length on the side. So it just takes one celebrity or one app to make it happen. So it's here to stay. It's going mainstream right now. So the shape of the short haircuts for guys You know, you could see like shorter on the side, like a bit of party length at the back. But again, it always boils down to suitability. You know, suitability with the texture, with the personality of the person. That's how I approach my work. There's a trend, and then I apply it to the person.
Sir Benj, sustainability is becoming more important in the beauty world, not only in everyday life. So how are eco-friendly products and techniques influencing the hairstyling world, and especially moving into 2025?
Well, of course, these days it's very easy to be informed. It's also easy to be misinformed. So you have to look for, I guess, the stylist that gives you a low maintenance haircut. When I say a low maintenance haircut, something that that would fit like their lifestyle. If you're a person that's on the go, has limited time to fix their hair, so go find that stylist that can give you a low maintenance haircut. Mostly, I guess there will be good haircuts that can grow out really good. I mean, there are haircuts that don't grow out well, so that's the conflict in there. And with regards to products, for me, I guess invest and find for a good hair conditioning. Because if you're that like wash and wear type of person who doesn't have time, you need to have a good haircut, a good aligned haircut, and a well-conditioned hair.
You know what, Benj, you mentioned find a good stylist. I'm so glad that I found mine.
Well, thank you.
Sip, sip.
But really, what I like about Benj's style is yung haircut niya, even if you don't blow dry your hair the next day. Kasi minsan, once you get out of the salon, ang ganda, right, ng cut. And then the next day, wala na, hindi mo na siya maayos because, the cut needs to be blow dried pa. But yours is just really natural. And that's your style. Natural textures, you embrace that. And also other stylists, you see them embracing natural texture. Now, Benj, how do you approach styling for clients with different hair types and different textures?
Well, for one, I am one of my principle as a hairstylist. I would like to embrace the natural texture of my client. Like, I love waves, I love curly hair. So, whenever I do a haircut for the client, I consider that. So I do a hairstyle that goes with her natural type of texture. So even without blower, just with a bit of a leave-in conditioner will do. So, with or without blower, it should stand. The haircut should stand.
How hard is it to anticipate hairstyle trends? Because we're seeing a bit of a return to previous eras, but at the same time, 2025, we don't know what's going to happen then. How do you anticipate it? What do you think will dominate next year? And of course, anong reasoning mo?
Well, I think in my years of doing this craft already, in the way it's become, I kind of get the trend of it. Like, it's always, fashion is a reaction to the previous one.
Yeah.
So we were coming from like blonde haircuts for girls, super faded for guys. We were coming from that era. Now, the girls are, they're bored with the blonde cuts. They're going back to the shag and layers and the wolf cut and the butterfly layers. With guys, expect in 2025 they will grow out. There's an option of growing out your hair with the mid-length look, like there's called a flow cut for guys that's a mid-length cut that has waves on the side. So that's how it is. It's a cycle. It's a cycle na babalik-balik lang siya eh. Ikot-ikot lang siya, but in different styling. When it comes back, it's gonna be a different styling, a different vibe, a different time.
Sir Ben, so I'm sure we're all inspired with the upcoming hairstyles. So for our viewers who are watching, where can they find you if they have any questions or if they want to get a trendy haircut?
Well, hi. It's a beautiful day. Well, my name is Benjamin Hilado. You can find me at Tony and Guy Trinoma. Okay, I'll be there this holiday. It's going to be the busiest, and I'm usually not there on Sundays.
Noted. Well, thank you so much, Sir Benj, for
Thank
waking
you so
up
much.
and talking
Thank
to
you
us.
for your
We really
time.
appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Sir Benj. Now, let's move on and talk about something for the titos and titas of Manila. Parang nasaktan ako dito. Wait.
Ako ba?
Wait. One of the Metro's top nightlife destinations is saying goodbye. On a Facebook post by the Bonifacio Global City, the 4th Strip is set to close on New Year's Day, January the 1st. The post also says, quote, "We'll be back better than you remember and better than you can imagine." The 4th Strip was home to some of the hottest clubs and restaurants in Metro Manila even before BGC became the central business district that it is today. I have made so many mistakes in that area.
Agreed.
I mean, like, it's a bad decision strip of my college
many
life.
memories there. Like when I first moved here to the Philippines, that's where I used to go all the time. That's where like the hottest people used to go to.
Yeah.
Like everything, like bad decisions were made
Yeah,
there.
the 4th Strip. Actually, until now, I still call BGC sometimes the 4th because that was the first thing that was there.
Yeah, we call BGC the
Right?
4th.
So, I mean, like, again, because it's right beside Fort Bonifacio. But then the point is that the 4th Strip was almost an iconic area there wherein you'd go to... Okay.
Kayo, kung bad decisions kayo sa 4th Strip, ako good decision. Because Fitness First was there and I used to teach that.
Okay, so we're gonna say Fitness first. We're gonna say Fitness first, pero balikan natin yung mga clubs doon dati.
Sige.
Emba.
Oh my God, Emba!
Arakama. Imperial Ice Bar dati.
I don't even remember the names of the clubs.
Yeah,
I just remember
was
going
Privé there? Yeah, I think Privé was there as well.
Well, they also have good food there, other than clubs.
Yeah, I mean, like, the good food as well.
Food yes.
Urban was there. Oh my gosh. But yeah, again, a lot of memories in that place. And if they're gonna come back, I cannot wait to see what happens
I think it's not really
next.
goodbye. It's just see you soon with a better.
They're probably just revamping because the building is a bit older.
The complex, the complex is a bit old.
So maybe they're just revamping. I hope.
May whistle stop din dun if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Yeah. Back in the day. I mean, like. Again,
oh my gosh,
lots of
Whistle
memories
Stop Classic.
Actually, sobra. But again, hopefully we get to see a return of it, brand new and a bit more modern, para a new generation can enjoy it. Maybe not as much as we enjoyed it, Mo.
Yeah, that was the
our new
best
generation
times of our
natin.
lives.
Grabe. But then,
next holiday season.
Malay mo, that might be a good Christmas gift for them next year. But for this year, we only have...
Crazy.
13 days! 13 days left before Christmas, before the foundation sticks come for our crew. And then, of course, we're also going to be checking our waist-to-hip ratios.
Oh my goodness. Let's not talk about waistlines anymore.
I'm going to wait till January 1.
That is it for us this Thursday, December the 12th. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you very much for joining us.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo, sending love and good vibes your way wherever this day brings you. Remember to choose joy, spread kindness, and bring your own sunshine.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Y'all stay safe and have a great day ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.